So I was watching one of the Hermit's videos there from season 8, Impulse, and he and a bunch of people got together to try and use dripstone to quickly kill the wither. One of the issues they were having was timing exactly when. I mean, they got it pretty quick. It was you just had to have a guy standing by to push a button and flip the lever to get the redstone contraption that was holding onto the dripstone to drop the stone and kill the wither, and it worked pretty well. I, of course, being who I am, decided, is there a way to automate that? Or at least you don't have to have someone wait by a button to push it on time. So I came up with this monstrosity. As you can see, I've already tested it a couple times, and it seems to work pretty well. What you've got, as of course you would know, when you create the get ready to spawn the wither, you use blocks to create it with, as you would iron golem and whatnot. This thing detects when that block disappears and gets incorporated into the wither entity. And then it sends the redstone signal up, all the way. And as you can see, way the heck up there, I don't have Optifine installed on my 1.17 yet. There's the dripstone dropper. And I should probably reset this puppy. Now, where the base of the wither is what this is my test world. And you can see it doesn't have a lot in it yet because I've only really recently started to get serious with redstone. But the wither spawns at y equals 3. Or I should say the block that we're using the observer to detect is at y equals 3. And this is the top of the little signal elevator. And this is at y equals 73. So it looks like you need about 70, a stack of 70, and then another, well, you don't really need these. I'm just using this just so I could actually see the signal go up. You just need these, this column here, not this one, a way to get the signal over to these pistons, and of course the detectors, and one little piece of redstone wire right there that this thing detects, and it just goes right on up. So I'm going to get these little dripstone puppies on here, which will take a little while. 3, 4, 5, 6. The Impulse's video shows them using, I think, 10 to 12. You really don't need all 12 anyway. I did 12 just to be safe. All right. And of course, I've got this all around in case the wither decides to start shooting things everywhere to protect some of my builds. Not that there's many of them. So first thing I need to do is put this back on a mode so that mobs spawn. I turned it off because I really didn't need those guys making noises. So we're going to see this in action. And a 1 and a 2. If you're wondering what this is all about here, I mean, I just use Bedrock because I have it. You know, I just realized I'm an idiot. That's okay. That's all right. Just gather these up. Go back up and do this over again. Yeah, it helps to, if you're doing redstone contraptions, to put things in the right order. Usually, just possibly. There we go. So, yeah, I've done little bits of redstone here and there, but nothing particularly extravagant. Mostly just little quality of life issues like, like door openers, and I've actually created one that will essentially use command blocks off of redstone signal to make doors open and close. But, I mean, it's nothing what I would call next level. All right, let's make sure I got this right now. Yep, got the dripstone. Bunch of slimes. Exactly what I wanted. Alright, that's all set. Shouldn't get any other weird signals here, because we're about to spawn the wither. One. As I mentioned before, these things here was Impulse is trying to figure out how to keep the wither in place. Of course, you know, they're in a survival world, and I'm not, so I don't have to really worry about the wither trying to chase after me. But using Impulse's brace, as it were, and this little transmission thing here, just watch that thing go right up. And yeah, I'd say probably about 9 or 10 is enough. But there we go. So yeah, it works pretty well. Of course, you lose these. You're not going to have access to bedrock in survival, but obsidian works just as well for these stuff. So yeah, I would, if you'd watch that, it's I think his 3rd or 4th for season 8 video, you'll know they'll talk about quickest way to just defeat the wither. I think you couple his little brace and Impulse's little dropper, spike dropper, and this little transmitter right here, which seems to time it just right. I think you'll end up having a pretty easy way of you can just get the heck out of there when you put the 3rd wither skull in and not have to worry about him killing you or nothing. I think this is a pretty well, expensive way with redstone, but it works pretty well. Now, one of the downsides to the setup I showed earlier, observers are kind of a bit more expensive to make than this little vertical transmission, which is just redstone torches and whatever solid block you want to put in here. As you can tell, we do observer requires cobblestone and 1 extra redstone dust and another quartz, whereas the torches just require a stick and redstone dust. So I set it up here so we could see the difference in speed, and you're still going to need at least 1 observer for this side. And for this setup to work, once again, these are just to show you how quickly the redstone signal goes up, much as it is over here. You do need this block apparently, and put a redstone torch on top of it. And you got the inverter here, and the signal that comes out of the observer apparently is too quick for this to trigger. So you put a repeater here and just give it 1 extra tick back. So this is the default. Give it 1, and it seems to work just fine. So we go over here, click a Z button, and as you can tell, it's about the same amount of time because the repeater adds an extra, I guess about a 1/4 second to the signal. You don't need the full stack here. I have about 70 here. You could probably get away with actually just a stack of these guys, redstone torches, and of course a stack of blocks, so 64 each, and you get about the same time that once the wither starts to form and you have the block state change. I mean, this would be his base normally, not right now because I'm just showing you how quick both will transmit the signal up. It's about the same, of course, just a little delay on this side. So you can do either way. Whoops. And I just thought I'd show that to you because this is obviously, like I said, is going to be a lot cheaper, especially if you haven't made a lot of trips to the nether.